Let's do this deep thing. Salam, shalom, all praises to the horizon, peace and wisdom. Hopefully the lawyers come in before the those that have hate within their heart. Sometimes they beat you guys here. And so I have the images. As I said, I have the images. Now I want to do this deep video breaking down Christmas in Santa's Elves. Hopefully you guys can hear. If you can at some point in time, let me know. I may not go back, but at least I can adjust from that point. Now, when you're dealing with Christmas, of course this has to do with Santa. Christmas is a holiday which is celebrating the sacrificing of Christ. Now, whatever perspective you may have of Christ, this is fine, but just view Christ as a deity. This deity being sacrificed for physical life to be, so to say. And so Christmas is the celebration of the beginnings of physical life manifesting forth. Peace and wisdom to all of you who now joined in. I'm not sure if you guys caught that. But what I was saying was Christmas is a holiday in celebration of the sacrificing of Christ. Now, kind of remove your religious perspective of Christ, you know, being a person, but just look at Christ as the deity that is sacrificed in order for physical life to be. And so Christmas is the day for a celebration of that beginnings, meaning physical life, the beginnings of it starts with the sacrificing of this great deity, this pure, innocent God or deity. And so the holiday is not technically for the deity, but it is for the sacrificing of the deity. Kind of like when you have a feast. Think ancient times, they may have hunted a boar. This is a pig. And so you have the pig head on the dish, and there's like a mass, a celebration over this dead thing, so to say. But you're going to eat it. It's going to fulfill them in some way. And so look at it in that way. Peace and wisdom, fifth cycle. Look at it in that way. Christmas is about the sacrificing of the deity, the killing of the deity, not so much the praising and worshiping of the deity. And so the holiday is truly for the deity that sacrifices the other, meaning physical life. If you need religious reference, physical life is a result of this Satan or Lucifer devil character. And so he's over physical life according to religious reference. And so I'm just giving you a perspective. Christmas is the celebrating of that character in his great sacrifice, which is this pure, innocent deity that y'all call Jesus Christ. Now, in ancient times, before religion, you had divination. This is where people picked a specific spirit. And so they interacted with this spirit. That was their God to them. Now, you have many spirits, and so everyone sort of picked their own. Now, I know in modern day we say, man, where did they find thee? Where did they get this weird stuff from? How did they find these spirits? Spirits is invisible. It's like I tell you guys. In ancient times, they had knowledge of the root or the plants, the things we don't have access to. And so they understood the alchemy of the resources, meaning if you mix specific psychedelics together, you create a seal. And so when you see I'll use the magazine, The Lesser Key of Solace, known as The Spirits in the Spine. You can visit the website to get it. But if you look closely, these are seals of the spirits. These seals, of course, these are the spine vertebra that they are. The spine vertebra being over, the nervous system cells or immune system cells. These are technically your spirits of the dead in a world being the body. So this is what the ancients were trying to depict. So the book is deep. But the point I'm making is this seal is basically the recipe of the concoction of psychedelics that's mixed. So in today's times, y'all take DMT, y'all may see elves. Y'all take this substance, y'all may see this thing or that thing. I remember in my day, brothers used to take tabla. It's like some thing they put up under their tongue, it melt. They say they see pink elephants, all kind of weird stuff, like a cartoon. And so around that time, this is where the psychedelics kind of was fading out. Meaning if you go back before those times, meaning the early 90s, all the crazy psychedelics that y'all are desperate to use now, people was on them. We called them like zombie angels, dust, and all this stuff that, you get it? That's that. Y'all, in today's times, y'all change it. It's like, no, no, no. In today's times, y'all make it like a divine thing. If I take DMT, then I'll get this divine intervention. In the past, we just called them like angel dust heads, and you get it? It's the same. Literally. Meaning they tell you the same thing that it's deep. We live in deep times. But like I said in the past, when you're dealing with these spirits, so this is how they interacted with these spirits through understanding the flowers. Meaning when you're dealing with different plants, some of them are psychedelics. Like I said, if you mix the right ones together, this will have you, access an entity, have an interaction with one. And so you have many different concoctions or recipes to access many different deity. And so in the past, they didn't worship or have religion, they had that. Divination, something real. Meaning they take if you think of like crazy movies where you have the shaman and he's like, it's all smoky around him, he's like got skeleton head, and he took the concoction, you get it? Meaning, if this was the past, he would have been the shaman. He would have took the concoction, and whatever deity he's interacting with is telling him either things to come, things in the past. Some of these entities, they're just all weird. Meaning they're all literal. It's a bunch of spirits. It's an offices of spirits. Meaning you have men that's far more deep into the practice, like what is his name? Aleister Crowley. Y'all have like Terrence McKenna. He's like a baby if you put him in the past. They knew the recipes. He just experimenting. Yeah, Aleister Crowley's the dude that wrote Offices of the Spirits. Man, they know the concoction. They got it for real. Like they interacted with the spirits for real. And so it's a deep thing that I want you guys to grasp. Meaning y'all coming up on those times of old, kind of re-emerging, so to say. And so I'm just trying to give y'all a perspective of how the spirit summoning practice work. Now you have rank in order to these spirits. And so, like I said in a previous video, if you merge 3 different psychedelic substances, the specific ones, so of course you will access, you will enter that realm, the spirit realm, and see the dead basically. But I don't want you guys to think dead like your loved ones. Think like life manifesting or developing up. Atom, cell, I'm sorry, atom, molecule, cell, organism. You get it? The past life or the dead would be the levels of sound, light, this being atom, substance, molecule, then cell. You get it? All of these levels of life that's coming together, developing up to become the multi-cell organism or, the body, they the past. You get it? They the spirits of the dead. But it don't stop with them. So you have like atoms, molecules, cells. This is your lower levels of life beneath the organism. Through the plants and things like that, being as though they're organisms, these substances is kind of like their cells, you can pull back for the past that way. Meaning the lower levels of life is how you pull divination for the past, because these is your levels of life before the physical manifestation. When you're dealing with the stars, your solar, your galaxy, your planets, your universal, you get it? When you're dealing with the higher levels of life, this is your future. So this is why we use this in today times to keep track of the days, the weeks, the months. If there's going to be a tornado, you get it? Meaning meteorologists keep track of, the cosmos, the solar, the higher levels of life to foretell weather, the orders of time we have, future things. So it's like when I tell y'all, astrology is not what y'all have it today. Astrology is the making of those orders, bounding all the people that live in that environment to that. The sorcery is put on the masses in those orders. You get it? And so this is all pulled from the spirits. And so, if you know the right concoction, this is why they said the ancestors knew roots, is to say they knew the knowledge of the flowers, the plants, they psychedelic properties, these different things. If you take them, what's the chemical reaction going to do? What spirit? You get it? They knew everything about it, but it's really not that hard. I mean, you have the toad, you have many different resources of the planet holding psychedelic properties. And so they used them all, they knew where to get it from. The medicines y'all having today, these are like pseudo monarchs, false psychedelics. You get it? False drugs, like the synthetic version of these entities. That's why they have weird names like, you get it? What's a weird name for y'all drug? Like hydrocortisone. You get it? It's a mixture of drugs but synthetic ones, meaning they're using the same alchemy as old, but they're reserving the organic life. Kind of like they give y'all GMO food, but there's still real food growing. Get it? Preserving the real drugs and medicines, but giving y'all synthetic versions. And so this is why sometimes y'all may take a medicine, y'all, if you're dealing with like mental issues, they may prescribe you a medicine and have you bugging out. You say, I be seeing people. It's because of that. That's what this is, a spirit summoning practice. Meaning y'all are not supposed to take medicines and things when y'all sick. Y'all have no reason to be sick. Y'all have no reason to be sick. Y'all overeat and overindulge and curious. In that y'all become imbalanced and sick. Then y'all pull for these outer things to make y'all better, and they have their own effects because all is living life. Meaning a flower is living life, it has the smaller life within it. No different than you. Meaning it has cells, molecules, so on and so forth. All these levels of life have the agents or deity within the substance or whatever the thing is. Meaning if we speak in atom, which is a level of light, atoms have their particles or rays or, like I say, your alphabetos, your smaller level of life. No different than semen has smaller level of life within it. We call them sperm cells. Y'all don't see them though, but they there. Every level of life is like that. Meaning semen is like fixed substance. Beneath that is molecule. This is like liquid or gases. Both these things having the smaller deity within it. No different than an atom has the smaller levels of life within it. And so when we take certain substances, that the smaller levels of life start to intermingle that naturally wouldn't. And that cause a person to get, what y'all would call viruses and things. Meaning the smaller levels of life develop up, whether you speak in virus or whatever. And so what you intermingling with is very important. This is where you get your spells or seals, which is one and the same. Peace and wisdom. Hopefully y'all are grasping. Robbie Jacobs, that's for you to decide. Peace and wisdom. Peace and wisdom, King Peso. Now, when you're dealing with Santa's elves, like I said, Santa would be Satan. So when you're dealing with the spirit summoning practice, Santa or Satan, or you can remove names, the highest deity, the deity over all the spirits of the dead. All the spirits that can possibly be summoned, this deity is the highest. This day is the day that y'all call Christmas. And so Santa, if you rearrange the letters, you get Satan. And so Santa has 6 main elves: alabaster snowball, bushy evergreen, peppermint sticks, shinny-upper tree, sugar plum Mary, and one horse open sleigh. Those 6 elves of Santa are the 6 psychedelic ingredients needed to summon that deity. Santa just being a representation of that deity. If you go back to the beginnings of, because Santa and all of this come from your far Norse teachings. And so before Santa Claus, you had Sinterklaas. He was like a monster, an old guy, strange. And so I'm trying to give you guys the perspective. Those 6 elves, these are the original 6 elves of Santa. They're truly psychedelic substances. If you mix all 6 together, so you get to that entity. And so that's what the practice was about in the past. Meaning, you start off with 3 mixtures, intermingling with, what y'all would call like the elves, or the machine elves, or any kind of elves. Basically, you're nameless, just lost in the abyss. Then, let's say you step it up to 4 or 5 substances being mixed. So now you're going to get to your deity that have rank and status. This is when it becomes more individual, meaning you're speaking to a literal deity on a one-on-one. It ain't just a bunch of elves crowding around you goofy like. And say you get up to 5, 6 mixtures, you're getting higher up in rank. When you're doing 6 to 9 mixtures, so you accessing the highest deity. You get it? Meaning you're getting high and you accessing the highest deity. The problem with that is most people, when they mix 7, 8 substances, they die from drug. You get it? So the practice is dangerous. People trying to access the devil or the highest deity, then they die on the substance, now they stuck there. You get it? Meaning, if you take DMT, and let's say you've seen elves, just imagine if you died, you gonna be there. That's why they say, if you play with spirit summoning practices, you selling your soul to them. Because if you happen to die while you doing that shit, excuse my language, but try to grasp. If you're high as hell on seals, a mixture of drug substances, and you happen to you mix the right substances to contact the highest deity, which is the devil, but you die of overdose, you think you're not going to be experienced it? You did. And so you get it? You are there. That's how they are in there. Like, this shit is deep. Meaning all the little elves and shit that y'all see, excuse my language, they end up there like that. Getting high to get stuck there. They can't get out. And so it's a deep thing. I'm not sure if y'all following. And so when you're dealing with Santa's elves, like I said, they are psychoactive ingredients. Meaning you have the order of plants known as Santalels. Peep the name. Santalels. Spelled S-A-N-T-A, Santa, L-A-L-E-S. Lales. Santalels. They come from the Santalum genus. Santa elves, Santalels. You get it? And so when I'm telling y'all, Santa is a deity in spirit summoning practices, and it works by mixing different psychedelics, grasp. They're pulling the names, meaning this is not secret, y'all just don't know this. The sorcery's being used on the public. So y'all are taking prescription drugs, which is basically mixtures. It's the old spirit summoning practices. Meaning they said ain't no point on, we could sell us stuff. We don't have to, we can give them alcohol. This is a mixture of substances, diluted a little bit, they sell it to y'all. Y'all on the sorceries. But try to grasp. You have the Santalels. You have that order of plants, the Santalels. You know, plants have a whole kingdom, meaning a whole bunch of plants come under that order, the Santalels. And so it's explaining like the recipe, meaning the holiday is all about the mixture of these psychoactives to summon Santa or Satan, the top deity. This is why y'all drink like nutmegs and y'all have different cocktail drinks for Christmas. Different foods that we don't naturally or normally eat on regular days. Meaning y'all drink like nutmeg and eggnog. These are not normal drinks that we normally drink on a daily. Now, in the past, they're making these from scratches. There's no stores you go to. You get it, and so they using. It's a deep thing. Like I said, they sell. It's like playing cards. Playing cards are the same as tarot cards. They just took away like the character cards, the Tower, the Death. They took away those cards and left the rest. And so y'all have the game, but not the complete. It's like that. In today's times, y'all got like eggnog and all the. Y'all got mistletoe, but y'all not taking the mistletoe berries, adding them into the concoction, blasting off. Blasting off for the holiday. That's what that holiday is about. And so it changed over time, but try to grasp. Alabaster snowball. This is one of Santa's elves. He is the alabaster stone. This stone been used since ancient times for divination, for healing and all types of different things that have to do with divination, or what we would term in today's times as spirit summoning practices, voodoo, whatever. You get it? And so you have bushy evergreen. This is another elf. This is basically your mistletoe from the evergreens, but mainly the berries of the evergreens. This is why you see images like this of Santa's elves. He's an evergreen berry or a mistletoe berry. These things are toxic, but like I said, if you understand the right concoction, then you grasp. You have images like that as well. This has to do with Christmas. Makes you wonder, what the hell? Y'all know the Grinch that stole Christmas? The Grinch is a goddamn frog. And we all know Frog got that DMT. He's sitting on a mushroom, so y'all already know. It's like I say, this holiday got to do with deep level spirit summoning practices. There's your mistletoe, your walnut. You know, a lot of things that y'all have, I don't want to say too much because a lot of things y'all have, y'all will use them. You be like, oh, I got that right now. I'm just going to use it. That's like the original Santa. So you see he's a monster. Now, here's another image. Mushroom. I went and got older images. So if you like, I never seen those images. I went back to the original things. This is an alabaster stone. And that's who Alabaster Snowball is. Now, like I said, you have bushy evergreen. And so, of course, I didn't even save the image like a fool. And so, of course, he's the your berries on the mistletoe. That's the Elves family of plants. You can pull it up, Google it or something. Now you have peppermint sticks. Of course, this is your peppers and spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, your black peppers. These things are all somewhat toxic or psychedelic. You get it like apple seeds. If you crush them up, you're going to get cyanide. This is a poison. So that's how the psychedelics work. They kind of take you close to the brink of death. So don't look at the psychedelics like, don't look at the toxic substances like, oh, nah, those will kill you. In the past, they used those, that was part of the recipe. The ones that kill you, that's the ones you need. Like, it was crazy, but y'all ain't no type of drug addicts like the ancients. They was like professional drug addicts. Y'all wouldn't hang with them. They knew, like, nah. You know how in the daytimes, like a dope head shoot up some dope and he die, and they all be like, oh, that was the dope. I want that. And you like, what? If he died off it, why do y'all want it? They was like that in the past. They like, nah, the drug, the substances that's toxic, give me those. I know how to. I built up a tolerance, baby. And so they was cold-blooded. They use snake venom, anything. Everything got some sort of connection. So they knew what can be substituted with what if they was lacking something. And so this is what a shaman would have been, or a witch doctor in the past. You still have people, even doctors, from the cities, when they get sick, they may go to the small villages, man. Go see the shaman because they know he got the ancient wisdom of the plants. Your common Babylon monkey ain't got access to the plants. We don't learn this in school. You get it? Y'all don't learn like, oh, this plant right here on the leaves, there's an opioid. We don't learn that. So grasp. They still got that wisdom. They don't deal with society, so all they know is what they know. And so they know the ancient, they know what I'm telling y'all basically. The different mixtures. Now, like I said, you have peppermint sticks, so you got your black peppers. This is coming from your Piper nigrum plant. Of course, when you're dealing with the inner bark of evergreens, the evergreen trees, different ones. The inner bark of evergreen trees is where you get like, what is it? Not nutmeg, but ginger or cinnamon, one of them. But it's in the bark of the tree, meaning just break away the bark. And so a lot of these things, when you're dealing with your evergreens, sometimes oaks are considered evergreens. This is where you're getting your substances that's needed. This is why Christmas is all kind of about like that kind of flow, like an evergreen flow. Y'all have the evergreen tree all decorated. You get it? It's a holiday to, it's deep. I don't think y'all understand what the hell y'all be worshiping in today's times. Now, you have Shinny Up a Tree. This is one of the elves. Of course, you guys all know it as Shimmy. So a lot of people say, what the heck? His name should be Shimmy Up a Tree, not Shinny with the N. And so a lot of people will say, no, in the past it was Shinny. We changed it to Shimmy. But it's speaking of the Shinny lapel, the Shinny oak tree. There's a weird, strange, old-ass oak tree. It's humongous. It got struck by lightning. It put a big hole in it. They got like staircase and a whole apartment inside this tree. It's called a Shinny lapel. The Shinny chapel or the Shinny oak tree. Now, if you're familiar with like Santa and his elves is like the Keebler elves too. Same difference. They live inside like a tree. They got like a whole house in a tree. So you got a grass, you should go deep. His name come from that. Basically oak tree, basically. And you know your oak tree is, you can get your mistletoe with the berries from oak tree. So in the past people had this right in their yard. An apple tree. Hope you get the mistletoe off that thing and they be making real nutmeg and real making the real stuff y'all playing with. Of course, you have one Norse open slave. This has to do with, like I said, this practice comes from ancient Norse. So when you're dealing with the ancient Norse, you got like Sleipnir. This is Odin's horse. You also got the weird dude that built the whole city, and he had the fastest horse. And they made like a deal with him to see if he can build the whole city with his fast horse. So when you're dealing with the Norse people, they believe in horses. Now, when you're dealing with the Norse people, of course, y'all view this as myth, but this is just your people from the far north where y'all are not allowed to go. And so if you go back to the beginnings of times, your white people from the far north are coming into Middle Earth, or where we reside now, where we can't go so far north or so far south. That whole area. They start coming from the far north into our territory, colonizing the rainforest. All you have is rainforest, and your indigenous colored people living there. Of course, they're indigenous, so they don't have civilization and none of that. They live in the forest. This is every continent you can think of, was just the rainforest. When the colonizers came, this is how you start to get these orders everywhere. So they have Christmas everywhere you can think of. Y'all have the same gods everywhere you can think of, just a different rendition of the name. It's a matter of the time. You get it? Some people still worshiping the same god by older name. Some of y'all are using more newer name, but it's all the same god. And so grasp. King Peso said North Pole. Far north, brother. Going up to your far north lands. Past Thor Mountain and all of that. Meaning y'all, they got all those weird characters that y'all hear of. These ain't myths. It's just old. Long time ago, these people came and colonized these areas that we live in. Meaning if you go back to biblical times and you're dealing with your Middle Eastern lands of today, that's when them lands was getting colonized. And so when you read in the Bible, you're reading the story of these cone-headed white, or what we would call different white people in today times. White people in today times are no different than we are. We are all just the end result of the mixing and mingling of these cone-headed albino white people and your indigenous people that's in all the rainforest all over the earth. You get it? And so when they're mixing and merging, this is how you're getting modern shaped head man. Because your natural indigenous man, he look a little monkey like. If you pull up YouTube videos of indigenous men, pull up uncontacted tribes on YouTube. So you're gonna see, like, when you're dealing with the ones that kind of have that Mexican look, but they're not Mexican. They don't know nothing about none of that yet. You get it? Their eyebrows pop out. You get it? They don't have the same kind of head we do. And so the natural indigenous men, they had, shorter head. I forgot. I think it's called Masaticephalic. You got Dolichocephalic. This the cone-headed ones. So you got to grasp. The mixing of the indigenous and the albino conehead is how you get in your modern day civilized man. In the midst of all this, of course, your coneheads are developing that area of the rainforest into cities. But this ancient times. It's done the same way now. But it's just ancient times. And so they're using the indigenous people of that area because they're more civilized to build up the forest and do as they say. They become the citizens of that city. They take on the nationality, which is the name of that place. And you still have the rest of the indigenous people now in the rainforest with this city just dead smack in the middle of it. Then you start to get more spreading out through all the continents until you in modern times where You don't have no indigenous people, really. You just have civilized men, and he doesn't know how this happened. And of course, your cone heads, your indigenous people interbreeding, you're getting normal heads. Your cone heads, you get it? They start to become what y'all call regular white people. And your indigenous men start to become what you call regular minorities. Black people, Haitian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, whatever ain't white. You get it? It's simple. That's how that happened. And so this is how y'all get Christmas, all these different holidays, and these different practices in these areas. And so, like I said, when you're dealing with the far north people, they have these horses. This is all they beliefs. They worship what y'all would call a devil. Meaning there's only one God over physical life. That's the devil. And so whatever y'all worshiping or calling it, it's that deity. That's why I tell you, you can't be a follower. You should go deep. And so y'all are worshiping the devil in many different ways. It's a matter of the spirit summoning practices of old. And so Rudolph is like Fur. You can pull up Fur, Goetic spirit. So you got the 72 spirits Solomon bound. Fur is one of them. He's a reindeer. Or what we would call a reindeer. Basically, goddamn dog with wings. But it's deep. You kind of got to grasp. And so all the characters y'all have, images of these spirits, images of these angels, they all come from these practices. These practices is a matter of mixing different psychedelics together and actually meeting these entities. Meaning y'all ain't too far from those times. You know how they say the things of old will reemerge again? So I'm just here to rewarn y'all, like the old shit coming back. Meaning y'all about to get into spirit summoning practices times again. This is when y'all all gonna be like crazy drug addicts, bugged the fuck out. And y'all gonna be mixing these substances, or y'all gonna be buying it because they already selling it like that. Y'all already getting prescribed like that. They just ain't putting the right mixtures. And so it's deep alchemy. It go with the metals too, meaning you got seals that's for metals. Like an atom bomb is a seal. You get my point? An atom bomb being a mixing and merging of your microscopic life, your atomic life. Same with the metals. This is how we get electricity and things like that, from understanding the alchemies of metal. You get it? The chemical reaction to your negative metals and your positive, like gold, copper, and silver and tin kind of being the reverse. So this is all a matter of the spine, meaning your cervical spine, C1 through C7 vertebra. These are your copper conduits in the body. They're resonating off what is manifesting into the copper of the body. You get it? Every time y'all speak, the cords are being pulled. And so the Shikapa area. Beneath that, you have your thoracic. Thank you, Jerice Tellis. Beneath the cervical, you have your thoracic, T1 through T12. These are your tens. So central brain is gold, cervical is copper, thoracic is tin. This is why they take y'all spine. The metals is there. Beneath the thoracic, you have lumbar, L1 through L5. That's your leads. This is now you get into your negatives. Beneath that is your sacrum, S1 through S5, your fused bones, but that's your silvers. And beneath that, you got your coccyx. This is your mercury. So, the mercury, which is the coccyx, goes with the central brain, which is the gold. You got your opposites. Copper with the silver, which is the sacrum. You get it? The tin with the lead. It's a deep science. Like I said, you guys can get the book, Spirits in the Spine, and Perspective, or you just get a one-on-one on how spirit summoning practices work. Y'all have it in today times, everything under fear. So y'all think like spirit summoning practices is like a kid. There's a ghost under my bed. You get it? There's spirits around. So in that, it's hard for y'all to grasp. Because y'all like, no, the spirits is here. They inside of you. You take those substances, it makes, like I said, your spine vertebra, They're all over. This is by L, but this is your C1R7 cervical vertebra. And so your immune system, not your immune system, your nervous system cells are there. They're in your spine. They're separate from the rest of the cells in the body. These are your spirits of the dead. Each vertebra bone is over its area. Then you have the, spine disc separating that vertebra from the next, keeping the spirits separated in their place. So all of this orders is to keep you safe. You get it? You have secretions in your body that's toxic to you. You have deity within your body beyond the cells that are toxic to you. They will play on your mind. But all is bounded to the spine. So this is the Solomon story where it says Solomon bound 72 spirits. It's speaking of the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine. And they're three-parted, so to say. And so grass, 24 times 3, that's your 72. And so he's bounding, like I said, the world is a body. So the spine develops because of the cells within the body. And so Solomon has to do with the creation of the orders of the spine and the spirits being bound in it. This is to keep you safe. Of course, look at the alchemy or the seals, the different arrangements. The different arrangements of drugs, psychedelics being mixed and merged together. These kind of make the spine vertebra inactive. Of course, the vertebra, you meaning your spine and your brain is one thing, and that's separate. Your spine is your brain. This is the whole of your brain. You get it? And so when I'm saying, the substances interfere with the vertebra locking down what they're supposed to, well, grasp. This is how you get the illusions or whatever y'all want to call them, but they're real. It's the deity within, meaning everything is within. It's without as well because we're in the body, but y'all physically see the deity then. Meaning the little examples of how they say the deity looks. Sometimes they say the deity. I'll show y'all an image. If y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. Give me a thumbs up too, like somebody said. Let's say the deity has a strange look like that. So y'all are seeing the stars up above in the sky, but y'all are not seeing them perfect. You get it? But y'all are seeing them. And so, grasp. That's what they look like. That's literally what they look like. Meaning if you heard a spirit look strange and weird, crocodile headed, and that's how they look. Especially when you on that stuff. It's deep. I don't want you to get lost and think, oh, so this is just a drug addict thing. No. You have these entity in life, they're bounded to their realm. Your mind is dimensional, so you lock into a certain dimension for your own safety. So you can kind of get through life. Man like to play, so it's deep. King Peso, peace and wisdom. I'm not sure what you're saying. COVID vaccine. Yeah, you're all over the place, champ. Please get it together. I have to block you. War Ready TV. What if you have spinal problems? Would that have an effect? Peace and wisdom. I'm not explaining these videos for you guys to get like stupid. This is a deep intellectual conversation for those that have an understanding on life. Some of y'all are still lost into childish perspective. Don't take offense, but maybe you have it in you. You can grasp what I'm saying. I don't want to even reach down that low because that's when the video gonna get off topic. That's truly the problem. Some of y'all mind space is too low. You let yourself go down. And so when I have to kneel over like that, it's like, just leave it be. Either you grasp or don't. But for those of y'all with a adult mind, you grasp what I'm saying. Your spine, That's where the entity are. This is why they remove your spine. That's where the metals are. That's where everything is. That's the holy staff of the body. And so everything y'all speak and learn, y'all learn kind of like a childish kid version. You get it? Kind of like how y'all worship Jesus. This is more like a child's version of something real, but you guys don't look at it that way. You say Jesus is like Santa Claus. This is like a kid version of something real, but what is the real version? So I'm explaining it to you. It has to do with the manifested vessel, the church, the temple. You get it? And so you have the fallen below in the body. These is your fallen angels. And so grasp. They're making the you, the YHWH, or that substance which is semen. They're making that manifest forth. This is how they free themselves from the abyss. And so the deity that's being worshipped is the deity that y'all would basically call Satan, Santa, or he who is responsible for this entity being sacrificed, this entity being the substance that we know as semen, meaning we are beyond these levels of life. You get it? We've ascended beyond these levels of life. And so all of these things are within us, all these orders are within us, these stories are explaining before the manifested vessel and why you have to keep, your mind on straight. But the real understanding of that is that, like I said, y'all are beyond these levels of life, and so in that the ego is too. But when you're dealing with learning, this is why it's a spiritual thing, because the emotional state of self has to be brought to a certain level, meaning y'all have too much ego to learn. Learning starts like any practice. The self must be adjusted. And so some of y'all need conscious cleansing, some of y'all need different things before you can lock in and get on a course of wisdom. Otherwise, you're just going to be bouncing around for the rest of your life. Learning here, learning there. It's going to be scrambly. But wisdom is in order. So you got to kind of cleanse parts of the self out. That's why I say y'all got to do conscious cleansings, different things. It depends on the individual. But y'all need to be put on a certain vibration, meaning you need to remove certain things from the self. They disturb in your connection to grasp, and meaning y'all are connected to whatever y'all are connected to. Negative things, negative music, whatever the case may be. We get to the point where we justify. We say, "Nah, the music I listen to ain't negative." Right? You get it? This is when you becoming deeper and deeper into that unaware state. And so it's a deep thing. Peace and wisdom already TV. He said, "I agree," and I say that. Peace and wisdom. Hopefully you ain't take offense, champ. I know you come in here all the time. Y'all a little delicate in today's times. Just grasp. There's a deeper understanding than the childish renditions of things that y'all have. It doesn't matter if you're an adult, so you kind of have the child version of things. Meaning, if you believe in Jesus Christ and the understanding in the religion, you have a child's version of the ancient understandings of life manifesting forth from the source vibration. This vibration manifesting into sound and light, then substance, then the you, which is the thicker substance that gathers all that developed up to that point, raises it from its abyss. Otherwise, you get it? And so when you're dealing with a baby coming into existence, it starts there with the sperm cells and the testes below. If you're speaking a woman, you're speaking of the primordial germ cells in her lower parts developing up into the egg cell. So you have to have some sort of science or an ear for it. And so these two aspects of your fallen life, or basically being raised back to life by that substance y'all call semen. So that substance is the most powerful substance in life. It's within y'all. Y'all don't know these things. You get it? Meaning semen is everything in life. That's the philosopher's stone. Y'all don't know how it works outside of ejaculating it into a woman. That shit make a whole baby come. But that's don't mean that's not great to y'all. You get it? Y'all don't grasp like, damn, if they could do that, and the sperm cells below is dead, and that level of life ain't no different than this level of life. I'm just bigger, so I look at it as nothing. So grasp, you got living entities being brought back to life because of a substance. We have that substance on our level of life, but we don't have this understanding anymore. So Jupiter, which I call that planet, that's a chakra. All the planets are chakras. Jupiter is right above Saturn. And so we talking about the chakra right there over your pelvic, your lumbar spine area. And so Jupiter is named like that for a reason. Jew. The Jew is the U, the YHWH, which is that substance. This is why if you look up like Jupiter, they have like, what do they call it? Hydrogen, a weird mixture of metal. Of course, it's like the color of semen. But, you know, just imagine seeing semen on a macro level. So, like, man, that shit metal and there's comets in that motherfucker. You get it? Because sperm cells are now going to be on a macro level. So it's going to appear to you like comets and metals and rocks, things that are on comets. You're not going to look at it like, no, those is big ass sperm cells on a macro level. They're literally moving. They don't have motors on the back. Y'all kind of forget that. Big ass rocks is moving through space, man. Them rocks ain't got no motors on them, so they ain't rocks. Them entities on a level of life, y'all don't grasp. Just like when you see the same entities below, meaning sperm cells, there's no connection to grasp. Say as above, so below. It's the same. Y'all don't know this no more. So y'all look at me like, man, he bugging. There's a lot for y'all to learn if y'all stop floating around, getting all this new false stuff. There's nothing new. There's just the understandings of the old. New is a matter of the old not being understanding, so man add theories and things on top of what he doesn't understand, making it something new. So you just have to grasp. It's a deep thing. If y'all have any questions, ask. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And so hopefully you guys are grasping. Everything has a real aspect. Meaning those of y'all that are lost into astrology, y'all are lost under the subject, meaning y'all are like the subject of the sorcerer. Y'all are the apprentice of the sorcerer. A sorcerer has an apprentice. This apprentice is also his subject. He tests everything out. A sorcerer is someone who understands the levels of life before physical. The alchemies of the smaller levels of life. They understand how to attack the mind. You get it? And so this is what all these orders that y'all live by are. Astrology, meaning y'all live by 7 days of a week. A certain amount of days in a month. Y'all have 12 months in a year. Y'all have the holidays that go with these months to keep y'all in flow. Y'all work according to that 7-day pattern. You get it? All of that is the sorcery that's put on you. It's how it keeps all of y'all in the same flow. It keeps the mind bounded to patterns because you cannot bound the mind physically. You have to bind it by word, by structure, pattern, breaking the mind down. So now when I take your mind, you just see this as life and existence, and I break it into days. 7 of those days is a week. Now you know end. You say the day end, the week end. This is how you create death in the mind. Remove spaces from it. And so over time now y'all have that big void y'all call unconsciousness. Death was created since the beginnings before physical. So it go deep. You gotta understand y'all ain't sorcerers, so y'all can't grasp on my level. Meaning I'm not guessing nothing. I'm trying to explain to y'all how shit work. When I explain to y'all this, everything is a matter of colonizers and cone heads, and y'all don't grasp how deep my wisdom go back. And so y'all not correlating everything. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm not trying to embarrass y'all. Y'all already know the shit y'all know ain't right. And so beware if you grasp, because y'all about to come up on these times. Meaning y'all do have sorcerers in today times. They call scientists. They work behind the scenes. They make y'all prescription drugs and different things. They afflicting y'all with the sorcery. Sorcery is different things. I don't want you to get lost. You got your astrology side, the foretelling of things to come. This is the orders y'all live by. You get it? They set y'all cycle for y'all. You know how an astrologist in today times will tell you, like, tell me your birthday, and I'll tell you, like, your cycle. There would be no birthday if a sorcerer never said we gonna have 7 days in a week for this civilization over here. Because, you know, if you go to, like, ancient Egypt, they had 10-day weeks. It's made up shit. It's sorcery to keep the people. It's deep. Y'all have to grasp. But like I said, you wouldn't have a birthday if these orders wouldn't made up. You get it? How you gonna be like, I was born on June 5th? There was no June 5th till colonizers came. You wouldn't know these orders. And so that's what I mean. Y'all are under the sorcery. Y'all speak about it from the apprentice side or the subject side. And so when I'm telling y'all like the sorcery on y'all taking offense. Like, it's a competition. Y'all don't grasp. Like, no, he actually like a sorcerer and we are the apprentice. He just a sorcerer that's telling us like, no, you somebody's subject. They fucking up your mind. And so some of y'all can't even fathom how deeply scrambled y'all minds are. There's too much ego to grasp. You got high level sorcerers, or you can just call them psychologists in today's times, working with the government, and they fucking up y'all mind. Like those stimulus checks. That's a sorcery. You got stimulus cells. And so grasp. They trying to make y'all anxious. Y'all basically, it worked. Y'all have anxiety. Y'all all fucked up. It's a stimulation, basically. And so don't get lost. Look up stimulation and you'll grasp easy. Like, okay, I grasp why they called it a stimulus check. They could have just called it a tax check. They could have put any name. Why stimulus? What do stimulus got to do with fucking COVID? Excuse my language. Why that word? Think about that. You ever heard that word before? They ever called your money a stimulus? That's science words. You got stimuli selling. Why are you using that for money? Psychology. They messing up y'all minds. It's just deep. I don't think y'all grasping though when I explain. And plus y'all have no balance. Y'all can't even give thumbs up. So I'm not going to even ask y'all to get back on this video. Peace and Wisdom 2003. You have to rewind the video back. Fifth cycle said, what would you say if I told you the map is upside down, north is south and south is north? I agree, but you have to learn it the wrong way first. You get it? A baby's turned upside down when it comes out the womb. And so, south could be north. You wouldn't know. You don't have the science. You just blurting out shit. And so, What would you say if I told you I was way wiser than anything you could think of and you don't have to play tricks with me? I'm trying to help you. Simple. And so, I know which way is up. Do you? And so, that's what these lessons is for, but y'all got a lot of pride. Y'all skip ahead. Y'all don't have nothing to, work with. He says, so do the cone heads really come from the north? They come from where I told you. If you were wise, you would remove north and south from your brain and just deal with polar opposites. And so once you do that, that part, whatever you talking about fade away. You say, so are you sure they're from the north? Which one is north? Is north north or is south north? That part. You done on the conversation now because all you know is title. You don't have an understanding. You get my point? Y'all know Jesus the word, but once I say remove the word, y'all don't know nothing now in regards to the deity. So when I say Christmas is about a deity being killed and sacrificed, that deity being what y'all call Jesus, mind snap back into religion. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. What's he talking? You get it? You're not grasping. And so we go deep. I know you good fifth cycle. I know you somebody that come in here. Stuff you saying is good, but you don't have no understanding, so that's why it's not good. You get it? And so y'all religions and things like that tell y'all things is reverse. And I did a video in the past where I broke down everything and I said after you learn it this way, then you have to grasp it upside down when I was explaining the levels of life. And I was saying how the atomic levels of life is really in the universal body's head and the galaxies are really, the sperm and the testes of the universal body. And so he probably heard all of that. And so that's what I mean. Y'all hear things, but y'all don't have a full understanding. And bring it back to me, like, if you want the full understanding, just get a one-on-one. Then you be good to go. Peace and wisdom, Jerice. Tell us, thank you for that. He said this. The cone heads come from the ball sacks of life. Before a body is how you see it, it's developing in womb. There is no ball sacks. So grasp, they're coming, let me see, they're coming from the yolk sac. But this is after the flood, but the flood being when the amniotic sac fills up with fluid. So a body is a world, it develops, the life is within it. I don't think I have that image here, but the deep thing, try to grasp. They come from the north like I told y'all. And so, meaning y'all live in this world, y'all know it how y'all know it. The direction y'all know as north where y'all can't go, they came from this. Simple thing to grasp. And the other side too. Same shit. Meaning to get y'all to grasp that North Pole and South Pole is the same area. So then my video gonna go another 3 hours. But it's the same place, blood. Mind game tricks, y'all got heavy level sorcery on y'all. If I say show me an image of North Pole, it's gonna look like this. Right? It's gonna be iced out and frozen out, right? Shouldn't opposites be opposite? Rest my case. And so until y'all grasp the world y'all live in, the world being the whole solar system, and y'all grasp when I explain to y'all that it's a body, y'all ain't gonna never grasp the orders or geography of this world y'all live in. And so it's a deep thing. Peace and wisdom, Robbie Jacobs. He said, I'm way wiser than this dude. North is the south. He didn't know that. Peace and wisdom. If you so wise, start yourself a channel and teach. Outside of that, you challenging me ain't gonna do nothing for you. Cause I ain't in no game. It's not the price is right, brother. And so had you really been smart, it will reflect. I'm almost 40. I take care of myself. Your goofy ass probably think I'm close to your age, but I'm not. And so you come in here in the right energy, champ. Peace and wisdom. I'm talking to Robbie Jacobs. Don't come in here like that. I don't deal with kids. Rocky said, so is the tundra in Canada in the... Damn, I have to use the restroom. I'm not sure what you're speaking about, F. Saki 2003, but grasp what you're being told, meaning a brother did like you in regards to the spine. I'm not going so far down into the levels of stupidity. No disrespect for y'all to grasp certain things I'm saying. Some of y'all are young. If you below 30, I don't really know what to tell you. I'm not here to, you get it? Meaning y'all don't, most people under 30, your mother's really young. You didn't really learn anything in regards to manners and we just in real time. So I don't really deal with y'all on, you get it? Y'all disturbed. It's like I say, I'm almost 40. You like 25. You like a kid to me. Y'all don't even grasp that in the daytime. When I was growing up, I was 25. I knew the difference between me and a 40-year-old. So like y'all kind of too stupid. Peace and wisdom, Robbie Jacobs. I'm glad you ain't going too stupid. But this ain't the channel for that. So you either adjust your energy or you slide out. Peace and wisdom. He said, I'm 50. Well, you act like a child. And so I'm going to say it one more time before I either block you or you adjust yourself or you slide out. I don't know what about your age or what about your character make you think being 50 or any age coming on here BS talking like a kid is cool. But don't let me hold you, champ. I'm not the dude for that. You better reflect on yourself and ask yourself why you so clowned out and bozoed out that you online BS nitpicking with people that you don't know. That part. And so again, I'm not your enemy. I don't know you. Whatever emotional problems you got, straighten them out. Come here in the right spirit. If you come here to learn. If you're looking for somebody to challenge somebody on your mind space, because I'll swallow you up. And so peace and wisdom. Try to grasp. Like I said, when I'm doing a video of a certain topic, that's that. I'm doing a video out on the land and we BS talking and playing, so that's that. Come back on that flow. Peace and wisdom, Rocky 2003. I apologize. You're not the one that said, you're not Robbie, but I might have mixed y'all up. He's not 50, you are. And so you're good, champ. Robbie, get your thing together, champ. The rest of y'all, if y'all have questions, y'all can ask. Like I said, I have to use the restroom. And so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to end the video or should I just use the restroom and come back like I usually do. I'm not sure if y'all are grasping. I'm not sure who's in this live. But those of y'all that have hate in y'all, whether it be for me or whoever, get it together. I don't want to hold y'all types and make y'all feel like, you get it? We not on the same vibration. I would never deal with you. Some of y'all have like aspirations in life. You like, when I see solace, when you see me, it's going to be nothing. You going to realize I ain't the nigga that would even talk to you. You know, like you see a dope head in the middle of the street, he talk, hey, motherfucker, he all drunk. I don't argue with dope heads on the street talking out of character. I don't care if he looking right at me. He not talking to me, bro. Period. He better not touch me. That's all I know. Outside of that, he's not talking to me. And if he is, I have nothing to say back. Some of y'all like that in real life. This online, I can't see you. In real life, if you all dusty and disturbed in your nature, whatever aspirations and goals you got, you done convinced yourself we enemies, and when you see me, ain't gonna be nothing. You're gonna realize how low you are. And so you can just adjust that now on a real level. Because I don't be dealing with dusty-minded people. Ain't no point. Peace and wisdom to the rest of y'all. Peace and wisdom, Roby Jacobs. I'm gonna let you go, champ. Enjoy your evening, though. Hopefully you spend your time wisely in this life. Instead of coming on here, because you're probably young, instead of coming on here typing a whole bunch of nonsense for 15, 20 minutes, fill out job applications. They got those on here, too. Same amount of time you wasting on here doing that dumb shit, you could have handled like 2, 3 of those. Then you be like my man that came in 3 or 4 days ago. He was like you. Coming in here wasting time on stupid. Now he got a job. He applied what I said. Which is what I just told you. If you gonna be on this motherfucker doing nothing, excuse my language, there's things to do. I'm on here working when you on here trolling. You get my point? You got to balance that out, champ. A lot of y'all on silly time. I'm not your enemy. If anything, I help you get right. You gotta fix your mind. Balance out your time right. If you got time to fuck around on here, your mama should have told you, boy, that's 2 applications. Yeah, well, I gotta work like a Babylon monkey. You worse than a Babylon monkey just sitting on here doing that shit for free. You could have took your chances. Meaning whatever you gonna do in life, do what could blossom into something. If you know you doing something and it's going to end up with nothing, it's just something you doing. As you get older, you got to shake that. Because you're gonna have responsibilities when you older. Some of y'all 25, 35, 45, you still trolling and playing in life. If it overflows sometime on here, you find yourself trolling and going stupid, competing with people. You grown. Do what you do. Your greatness gonna manifest out. If you got to compete your greatness with somebody else, that means you're not great. Especially if you talking wisdom. 2 men can just reason and see whose wisdom is higher. When you feel a need to compete, that part. You don't have no worth. You looking to earn some. And so, get the mind together. You grass. Meaning anybody that watch me, I'm not supposing they brain, they thinking like, ooh, Solace has to debate. Or I'm not going to wonder if he's really wise. They can listen to my words and listen to other words and know just off that. No, he wise. He got it. I don't need to see him talk to anybody. I heard other people, I heard him. And so when you're dealing with wisdom, debating is for reasoning to see who has the better understanding. Therefore, you get it? The other can adjust. Meaning if I'm debating somebody on mind space, if their understanding is deeper and they seem to have it more together, this is for me now. I can adjust what I believe in. When y'all watch debates, y'all see one person start to look wrong and you see like weird games, and that's not debating. That's some weird stuff. Meaning in debating, there's nothing wrong with you being wrong. The whole point of it is wisdom. We trying to shuffle through what is right. We not enemies. We 2 men of the same path. We brothers of knowledge. Trying to see if you right or I'm right. Y'all don't debate in that way today. A man of knowledge in today's time think he my enemy. And so this is why y'all stay dumb. Y'all don't get to sharpen y'all sword right. Too much fears and pride. I'm not scared to lose to nobody in wisdom. What that gonna do to me? That part. Now, can't nobody beat me in wisdom. Get real. It's a deep thing. A lot of people do get mad during debates, but it's the ego. They ain't as wise or sharp as they supposed to be. You got to know how wise you are for you even step into it. Otherwise, you get swallowed up. Then you be mad. This is why a lot of people in the wisdom realms are mad at me, because they don't measure up. You jumping in hot water too fast and you got to play games. Mind you, we not enemies, unless you have the wrong kind of ego. So it's a deep thing. A lot of men fall into the agendas in the groupings, forgetting they're their own individual. They have to have some sort of understanding for themselves. I apologize, I can't hold it in. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll leave y'all with the deep tunes. Peace and wisdom. Oh, y'all stuck around, and thank you to whoever gave back. I appreciate that. Just this long. And so, wisdom's like any polar opposites. It's gonna either make you crazy or extremely wise. And so, you don't deal with knowledge until you fix, like I said, until you fix the inner self. You don't deal with knowledge. Nothing more powerful in this life than knowledge. Knowledge being a matter of your psyche. You get it? You got physical weapons. You say, like, man, ain't nothing more powerful than that physical thing. You got spiritual things, this being like substances and gases. So you may say, like, ain't nothing more powerful than that substance or gas. On a mind level, which is like your airs, there's nothing more powerful than wisdom. Don't play with that thing unless you get it. The mind is strong. And this is a matter of wisdom's like anything. You need to come up under somebody that's truly wise. A real wise servant. Meaning a servant is a real thing in this life. Y'all just don't have them in today's times outside of me. That title. You get my point? I'm not talking nothing fake or somebody mimicking me, but a servant. Like in the Bible, they speak of the wise servant. A servant is a real thing. And so you need a servant, whether it's one of old, well, I guess that's the only way you're going to find one. So a servant got to kind of christen you in, cleanse you off so you can learn. Kind of like a baptism. How y'all got baptism and the water on your head? I guess that's like a rendition of a conscious cleansing before you become, an initiate. An initiate being, someone who basically unlocked their mind space. Meaning y'all minds is like a Rubik's Cube. If you can figure out the code of your mind, all minds being the same, then grasp. All is known to you. But some of y'all haven't even begun to indulge with your mind in that way to even grasp what I'm talking about. But your mind is the realest part itself. And it got dimension and depth and a lot to it. Different personalities there, so much. So you You got to grasp. You got to know what you is amongst all in the mind. You got to be able to separate yourself from the thought, separate yourself from this urge, that urge, completely knowing who you are amongst all other aspects of the self. Because all aspects of the self ain't got nothing to do with you. This is just the natures in the life attaching themselves to you, kind of giving you a nature, and you don't have a nature. You just awareness. You just pure life. You get it? Y'all get influenced into things. Outside of that, y'all just observers, watchers. Sometimes y'all decide to indulge, like y'all heard in the script. The watchers watched, and they came down and started playing around with man. So this like y'all. Ain't nothing y'all did on y'all own nature. Everything you ever seen any bad man do, any person, so they was an observer of something else first. So, whereas the mind's a deep thing. Deep practices indulging with the mind. I guess you can say people like Aleister Crowley. So it's like I said, when you're dealing with the mind, what's going to either make you crazy or you going to burst through. You get it? It's like that. You either going to get lost in the mind or you going to central out with it. That's the best way I can describe it. What I'm speaking of is real, meaning I see it in my mind space, but I'm just trying to explain it to y'all. So you either gonna get lost all in your mind or kind of central out. I guess that's like that third eye thing, but this is talking about your pinealocyte cells. But that's something else. But wisdom's deep. Try to grasp. I'm not like a guru. Like I told y'all in the past, a guru is an angel. Man that say he guru, he like a false angel. You get my point? Shiva is a guru. Shiva ain't no man. You get my point? And so I'm not saying that to discredit anybody that claims to be a guru. I'm just saying you don't know that. Had you knew that, you wouldn't have. And so Shiva's a guru. Just like I showed y'all Israfil from Islam. He's a spinal deity. So is Shiva. They all are. They're the angels over the spirits. And so all is within. As above, so below. It's a deep thing. F. Saki 2000C3 said, what sort of literature do you read? Let me see what I have in here. I read ancient stuff. A lot of y'all don't even understand reading. I got the Book of Enoch, the old King James version of the Bible. It got like old English writing. I got the Tablets of Thoth as this. I should start real, right? Ooh. Y'all like how it started, right? So I got the real shit, baby. That's a book, but it start like that. Boom, boom, boom. It's deep. One day I'll give y'all some scholarship on that. I got the Grand Grimoire in here. These is like spirit summoning books, but they're wrong. So I read them just for that. Say, damn, they're wrong. Or they're not saying it's not wrong. They're doing it on purpose. But I got the Lesser Key of Solomon in here. Ancient Sumerian texts, the Magus. I've read more books than most of y'all will ever read in your life, so like I said, it's nothing fake about my wisdom. You can test it out on any way you want. Literature, scholarship, science. That's what make a man wise. Meaning there ain't no way you can come at me. You a scientist? I don't care. You ain't gonna win. You're not going to disprove nothing I'm saying because you're a scientist. I'm better at you than that. Meaning wisdom is that. These are curriculums, subjects. A wise man got knowledge of the whole perspective. You get it? And so I could explain to a scientist how he got his science, which is sorcery. Meaning you a goddamn curriculum head. You go to school. That's a sorcery that was created. And bind your mind to a small perspective. I can explain to him all the science he know how he knows it. And then explain to him the broader perspective that is kept from him. Because he is just to be a Babylon monkey. You get it? And so it's deep. You gotta grasp. But so I've went through what one is supposed to go through to acquire these levels of knowledge. And so it's like I say, pain and suffering play a part. Y'all not built to suffer. Wisdom starts there. Like I say, the hard times is lessons, but everybody ain't built for their lessons. So then they don't grasp. In any event, I've been on long enough. Y'all a little dry today. Hopefully y'all grasp though. If anyone wants to give back, you can do so at paypal.me/SolidSoulLarry. Or you can visit cash.app/$TheRealSolace. If you want any of the magazines, I'll skim through it right quick so y'all can get a little look. You can visit wiseservant.org. Feather up sweaters, t-shirts, different things on the website. Visit it. The book is deep. It's a magazine. Chapter on mental healing. This is breaking down the orders of the spine. This is explaining how the spine is an instrument and how, you speak your sound because of the spine, and it's a deep thing. Like I said, you have to get the magazine. It's at wiseservant.org. Understanding the Book of the Dead. And so if you come in here and you watch me and you find yourself to be like a hater in things, always keep in mind I'm independent. I created this. You get it? All the magazines and all I got going and all the shirts, I did that. There's no company behind me, meaning I'm a perfect example for y'all. Meaning I'm you just lazy as fuck. So while you sitting here tearing me down, you wasting your time. You can't, because ain't no corporation holding me up. You literally seeing a man doing what you be seeing people talk about. I'm independent. I do a lot of work. I work hard. I did all this shit by myself. You get it? When I say all of it, I mean all of it. I type. Nigga, I type 80 words per minute, blood. That part. Whatever I learned in life, I put it together and I use it. I make magazines. I know how to type. I apply that wisdom. I type this whole book in 15 minutes if it's already written out. You get it? And so I don't want you to ever get lost and think I'm some, you get it? Just here, they just made him. No, blood. I work hard for real. I use my mind in every aspect of what I do. I do it. That part. And so, grass, this is my logo. Nobody drew this design for me. Nobody drew nothing for me. When you see my grass hoodies, that's my design. Nobody did nothing. Every aspect you see is me using my mind and my creativity. That's not to say nobody can't help me. That's just to say the same way y'all lay around and do nothing waiting for a corporation to come along and put you on, put your own self on. That part. And so, kind of grasp, it's a deep thing. Hopefully y'all do. Clarence Bostic said, broke this week, got you next time. Ain't no thing, champ. It's all gravy. Make sure y'all grasp, that's the main thing. Start applying some of the stuff I be saying. People gonna always hate on me in life. Meaning I'm not the guy that the corporations and the guys that's aligned with the corporations are gonna bring me on their channel. Cause I'm the opposite of what they are. You get it? If somebody like Charlemagne say he the best author, he the best seller, that's just talk. He don't write books. He just talking. Somebody that is an author and a writer, they do that. You get it? It's just talk. It's real. I am an author. That part. And so y'all got to get y'all mind together. Meaning I sold more books than Charlemagne ever gonna sell. Y'all lost in fake systematic talk. It's like they say Kanye West got 6.6 billion. What bank got 6.6 billion dollars in it? None of them. And so there's no way he can be a 6.6 billionaire if he can never access that amount of paper. And so what are we talking? Credit? Assets? You got this amount of stuff and we're gonna say it adds up to 6 billion? And so that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. All that lights and fame shit is all fake, man. All motherfuckers don't got no money. They got good talk. If you really think Kanye West a billionaire, you a fucking fool. Again, what bank holds $6 billion? That part. A spaceship costs less than $6 billion. Kanye West could not purchase a spaceship. You know why? Because he don't got $6 billion. And so kind of grasp. Now Kanye West is smart like him and Jay-Z. So they just playing a game building up that good old talk. You make this company a bunch of money, you make that company a bunch of money, then they just lie for you and be like, you rich and you a billionaire, whatever. And so they trying to build they number up so that they can be a bank. Meaning you got to have a certain amount of assets. Let's just say you have to at least have 100. It's less than that, I think. But let's just say you have to have $100 billion. This being in assets. Because there ain't no $100 billion. You get it? That's all the bread everywhere. And so grasp. All banks, which is people, families, whatever, they have that amount in assets. And so if I was a betting man, I'd say like Kanye West is trying to build his portfolio up to that so that he can be a bank. And so you either gonna be a bank owner in this life or you gonna be a land owner. And I'm not talking about a property owner. I'm talking about a country. You get it? You either working to own a country or working to be the bank owner. I'm not a part of the system or the entertainment business. Me, Jay-Z, Kanye West, we all the same. They just the Babylon monkey side. And I'm doing it the other side. But so grasp, it's all the same shit. And so some of y'all sitting around on bozo time waiting for somebody to come put you on or something. Ain't nothing nobody can do for you. You can do things for yourself and people gonna either respect your hustle and merge in with you where it's good for them and you, or you gonna be sitting around waiting for nothing. And that's just the reality of it. And so whoever come along at any time and say, you know what, I want to invest some money into this dude, he seemed good, I got everything ready. You get it? Like that. Y'all have to be like that. Don't sit around waiting for nobody to come put you on. Do everything already. So if they do come, you already got everything. You on vacation now. You say, take all this shit I've been making. Bring me 80% back. That's how you laugh. 20% for yourself for the troubles, and you bring me back all my 80. I'm chilling. Why? You already made your money. I already made all my money, man, before any corporation come along. I don't have to talk to them. I just do how I want. You don't do what I say, you can slide. Why? Because I've already been doing it on my own. So there's nothing you can convince me of. I don't care. And so, grasp. If you know how to type this, that, whatever you know, start to apply it Get everything to work together. You get it? If you're good at speaking like me, I'm good at speaking. I can write, I can type, and so I use everything in cahoots with itself, meaning I play many different roles. They all go together. I edit videos, anything you can think of. I learn it and I do it. And so it's a deep thing. You don't have to hate on me, be inspired. Because I'm doing everything. If you watch one of my videos and you said, damn, the editing is kind of dope on this shit, I did that. Nobody else did that. Anything you like I do and you like it's dope, I did it. And so grasp. Y'all can come work for me. This shit real. Peace and wisdom, try to grasp. Let me check if y'all got any questions before I slide out. Time for me to eat supper. Give me some peanut punch. Hopefully y'all take them words real and apply them to self. Stop getting lost in jealousy and envy and ego talks. Grasp what's real, apply it. Peace and wisdom, K Flames and everyone else. Salam, shalom.